Boom, we're in. No matter what sport you play, you're always chasing chips. So you know it is.
Yeah, okay, that's our new little catch line and slogan we got going. It starts to
He's starting to like
feel
it.
right.
I
Listen,
feel like everybody's liking it. But once again, Charles, Josh, got Foshe in here. We had to bring it in. Josh stay in the middle of the screen. But just want to make sure. Yeah, come on, man. He can't be pinballing back and forth, man.
dude, you know me, I'm fidgety.
Hey, what you guys doing? What you guys talking about? What's going on? No.
Well,
no.
I'm smoking and you know what? It is that time to where I can get a drink right now. I should have made a drink before here.
You should have. Celebrate you guys being first place as me and Foshe down in the play-in. Technically, we made the playoffs. That's the only thing I want to say. We made the playoffs. In real life, as we are older gentlemen, when we were younger, this is making the playoffs. Not 9th and 10th place. We in consolation. We made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Yes, now it's called the play-in, but I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new format, honestly. It's starting to resonate with me. This whole format system. It took a little bit for me to, put things together onto why I like the pros and cons of it. But I feel like I've seen enough of the play-in and the new style, and I'm not a big fan. To be honest, I'd rather let's just keep the 1 through 8, and if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. But that's just my opinion. I guess we can maybe include a little bit more competition, and really what it comes down to is revenue. It creates more revenue, right? Because you get more games,
more money.
More money. I get it.
Everybody. NFL added a game, so
yeah. So I understand that, but it's just dumb to me. I just miss the old traditional structure. But nonetheless, we got Foshe here, my man, and he's a Timberwolves fan. Huge, and actually the only Timberwolves fan that I actually know in person.
Hey, me too. The only Timberwolves
fan I know. Yeah, there's not many of us, I don't think.
And then honestly, to be fair, you're also the only Clippers fan I know.
Yeah.
So
we have a lot. We have a lot more tougher seasons than the Timberwolves have. They had KG. That was a good one. How many year run? At least
12. Yeah, but 12-year run, only made the finals, the Western Conference Finals once.
Oh yeah.
And then went to and then didn't make the playoffs for one playoff run, which was Jimmy Butler in the last 12 years or something like that. So it's been rough, but I haven't decided if I like the new plan yet. I get it. They want teams not to tank, and the Clippers are not the Clippers, the Spurs and the Pelicans made good runs, but I feel like there should be some sort of cutoff. We're 46 and 38 or whatever it is. And you guys are 40 and 42 and 40. And I feel like there should be a cutoff. You have to be at least 500 in order to play, to qualify for the play-in or something. But I don't know. Yeah. I get it. But I feel like there should be some sort of stipulation where, who knows? It's one game, and whichever team loses between us then has to go play probably a decent Pelicans team. And if they're hot or play well, then one of us is going to be looking at possibly going home, which kind of sucks, but I get it.
It sucks. I don't. You guys had a good season. It'd be sucked to go home so quickly. Yeah. So I'm talking about you guys to lose one game against us and then lose again. It's gonna be terrible end of the season.
Yeah, but y'all both know that you guys aren't losing twice. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully not.
Spurs are nothing to worry about. Pelicans, they're pretty decent.
CJ,
but I would say that the Timberwolves and the Clippers just have more depth than all those teams. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just whoever wants to play us, honestly. That should be your worry. That should be your concern, and where it lies is who wants to play the beast, Because the Suns, they're scary, I've heard. And I'm just saying, whoever ends up in that 8th spot is going to be trouble. So first round exit, man, that's not good. So, do you still get a draft spot if you make the play-in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
within the
draft is not by play. It's probably your record.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know.
But there's a new format.
I guess it would go off record because I'm not sure.
The new formats for like the worst teams and like the lottery.
Right.
That's what
I meant.
You just can't be the worst team in the league and automatic get the most like votes or most balls in the pinball machine or whatever. I do hate about the draft that they don't do the pinball machine in front of everybody no more.
Yeah, they pick behind closed doors. We know what they're doing.
Yeah, we just got the order already. What?
Yeah.
That's why I think the Magic are gonna get the number one
strings. Don't trust them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's hear some I want to get some commotion. I want to get some shit talk here. I want to hear, let me hear your strategy for success. We'll start with Foshe. And I want to hear where your strengths are. And I want to hear how you can beat the Clippers in this 7-game series. Or
7-game series? Wow, dang. Wow.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. That's just me.
Oh man,
series again.
Hey man,
yeah. In game one, okay. In one game, I hit the bong.
I see.
I'm a little high.
All right, we get it. We got it. 7-game series.
Game one.
Yeah, so I feel like this is this is obviously the best game out of the 4, and I don't think either of us would say that as biased people. I think everybody's talking about that. I was listening to Zach Lowe earlier, and they were talking about that, and all these other pods are talking about this. This is the best game. It was a fun. I know you guys won 3 out of 4 this year. D'Lo also missed 3 out of 4, which is important for us because we don't have a backup point guard. Josh hates D'Lo. I don't think D'Lo is great, but he's still a serviceable point guard.
Okay, that's a good explanation.
I think a big thing for us is since New Year's, we've had the number 1 offense in the league, and I think the biggest thing for us.
Hold on, let's unpack that. So number 1 offense.
No, man, stop interrupting. Let him finish.
No, I just
you're getting salty because now you're thinking about the Suns. This is all you now thinking is number 1. Wait, hold on. What about the Suns? What about the Suns?
You don't know me. You don't know me. All right, you don't know what's in my head. I just wanted to understand what he meant by the number 1 offense in the league. Like
NBA's offensive rating. Number 1 offensive rated team in NBA's and NBA.com.
114 points, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's something. It's good, and I think we had a softer schedule there for a couple weeks, and we did what we had to do. But I think the number 1 thing for us is Towns has to play smart. Can't get into foul trouble. The big thing for us is when he makes stupid fouls, offensive fouls, and then he'll make 1, he'll complain to the ref will give him another one right down the other end of the court, and he's got 2 real quick. But I think it's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, and I know it's probably a little bit homer too, but the way he's officiated is just absurd. He gets even so many even at home. I mean, he gets terrible. I think he is number 2. Yeah, number 2 in the league in fouls against this year, which is absurd. But I think he has to play smart. And it's going to be very interesting to see the matchup between Ty Lue and Chris Finch, because I think they are both really great coaches. Finch has turned the Wolves around. He has, they've had the talent for a while, and finally he has implemented a system, defense, offense, and they actually run plays, and it's like, oh my God, this is what a real coach looks like, which we haven't had in a long time. But yeah, I think he just has to play smart, and it's going to be very interesting to see the Clippers' defensive scheme, how they decide to guard against him, if they run like Marcus Morris, Rocco, Batum over, and then they have Zubac as kind of a floater. If Vanderbilt's out there, that's what I'm interested to see if Finch does. If Finch closes with the same 5 with Vanderbilt out there, I would really like to see Vanderbilt not on the floor. I love Vando, but he's just not a
defense, right? But just not.
He's a good defensive guy. He's a great rebounder, which I know the Clippers struggle with is rebounding. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I would like to see like Taurean Prince or McDaniels out there more as just a 3-point. Then you can't afford to double Towns. If you're going to double Towns, he's going to find the open guy, and we're going to have shooters with D'Lo, Ant, McDaniels, Prince, Beasley, whoever else is going to be out there. But if Vando's out there, I think they're going to front him with a small, and then Zubac will just kind of be a floater behind. But like I said, I think the number 1 thing is just Towns has to play smart. If he doesn't pick up 3 quick fouls in the first half, I like our chances. But it's going to be a great game. I think my biggest thing is, not to stroke Josh's ego, but if we want to have a chance to win a game in the playoffs, we have to be the 7th seed, because I think we match up extremely well with the Grizzlies, and we've played the Grizzlies really well this year. If we are the 8th seed, I think it's a 4-game sweep against the Suns, but not to get too far ahead. I think that's how we win, though, is play smart. Towns doesn't get in early foul trouble.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
I figured you would.
No, but that's interesting. So, have you guys ever run a lineup of Anthony Edwards? He plays a 2, right?
Mm-hmm. Most of the time.
Have you guys ever? I mean, he's a big 2. Have you ever thought about like bringing him up, or have you ever played him as a 3? That way, you have a little bit more shooting.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes Finch will run like D'Lo, Beasley, Ant, Malik, and then Prince or McDaniels, yeah, and then Cat at the 5.
You guys still got Malik Beasley, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Beasley, yeah, great. I mean, if you look at his numbers since he's been a huge guy off the bench. I think he's number 1 volume 3-point percentage since at least the All-Star break. Maybe I think he's shooting the most threes, and he's shooting like 40 to 45%. I haven't looked at it recently, but
do you close with him?
Up there. It just depends on the game, because he's not a good defender. So it really depends on the matchup. Like I said, I think it's big it'll be interesting to see. McDaniels is finally back. He rolled his ankle pretty bad a couple weeks ago, but he's back. Ant had a great game against San Antonio when he dropped 49. He has not been good since the All-Star break. He missed a couple games after with, I think they called it jumper's knee or whatever, and he just looked passive and didn't want to go to the rim. But he's looked better recently, so I think everybody is trending in the right direction. Pat Bev got ejected from the last game, a game that meant nothing. That guy's intensity is the best. So it'll be fun to see him go up against the Clippers, because I know he has a lot of friends on the Clippers and obviously played with them. And in February showed up to a Clippers game in a Zubac jersey. Sat courtside.
We were there.
That's hilarious.
We were at that game.
Were you?
Yeah, we were there. We saw him sitting courtside and everyone dapping him up.
Yeah.
That was
the relationship between that is immense. They love each other. We still got much love for Patrick, to being there. I mean, a lot of media was trying to start that little Patrick Beverley versus the Clippers.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Patrick and Paul George killed that real quick. Like, bro, no, it's not us against Patrick Beverley, me against Patrick Beverley. It's us against them. For me, I just I'm just interested to see what PG got to do. I'm just PG. Norman Powell, Rocco. I think defensively we'll be all right. Like I said, like Foshe said, that we're gonna send a double at Carl, make him give the ball up. But it's like we gotta just let him live and do his thing. We don't want Carl to get 40, 50 points, but if he's getting 25 and Anthony gets 20, what I'm saying, everybody else is trash. That's W right there, boy.
So does Anthony Edwards guard? Does he guard Paul George, or what's up with that?
It's going to be interesting, because I know he has been playing. His defense has definitely picked up, and he has been guarding some of the bigger guys. But I know that they'll probably. It depends. If Vando starts and is closing, he's going to guard PG. They'll probably throw multiple looks at him. I know they were talking about, running Patrick Beverley at him a couple times just to get in his ass.
Really, I'd love to see that matchup.
But yeah,
I think the thing about Patrick Beverley, there's certain guys I just wanted. Like for me, when he was on our team, I always wanted to put him on like the guy that wasn't the guy. Like I didn't like him on like a Devin Booker, but I liked him on Chris Paul. So Patrick Beverley, because when he agitates the best guy on the team, that person plays better. Most of the time, that guy plays better. So I'm like, please put him on Paul George. I wish they would. So Paul George have something crazy, because those type of players love that. They love that. They love the agitation. Like Devin Booker loves that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Those guys love it. So, but like putting
his nose and break it.
Putting like Patrick Beverley on like Marcus Morris, a fight might break out. They might get ejected. You know what I'm saying? But that's better for them than it is for us. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Morris, that's 20 points a game. That's 16, 17 points a game. That's just off the floor if Patrick Beverley gets in his mind. So that's the matchup I was afraid of, but, I think if we're doing what we've been doing the last few games, ending the season very well, playing on a good pace, good flow, Norman Powell is scoring like 16 points a game and dribbling the ball when he plays with Paul George, like dribbling the ball like 6 times. Like Paul George dribble, drive, Norman catching 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's great. So it's one of those matchups that and I told you on the last spot, am I terrified of the Timberwolves? I am not. Do I think we're going to win? I do. There's no,
I wouldn't feel so confident.
It's
gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a lot closer.
Say it's gonna be close. I didn't say that. I didn't say it wasn't gonna be a close game. I just said we're gonna win. I care less if we win by 1, 2 game winning shot. I mean, a lot of places I've seen they got the T-Wolves winning most of them. Well, that's most like DraftKings are got a -3.
Yeah,
something like that.
So let's just go. Let's just keep it simple. Let's just go down the lineup. Let's go down the roster. I just want to see where you guys' heads at as far as rationale, and then I'll be the judge. All right.
Here we go.
Because I'm typically the one that's always right. But
false.
So point guard, we got Reggie Jackson, and we got D'Angelo Russell. So who do you guys think of those two are the better point guard? That you would want on your team.
I'm a consistent guy, so I'm gonna go with Reggie, and that's not no disrespect to D'Angelo Russell. I just think he's just inconsistent. I just don't know what you're gonna get. Can he go for 40? He can, but
yeah.
So I know what Reggie's gonna give us. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you think Reggie's better talent.
I was gonna say I think D'Lo has gone through a lot of ups and downs this year. Started off super slow and then was really great there for a little while, but the past like 2 months month and a half has been really bad. I think that better point guard. I guess it depends what you're looking for. I mean, I guess Reggie's probably a better scorer, but better point guard. I might lean Russell, but I think in this matchup, like one game, I would probably take Reggie.
Like passing? Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, just like distributor, pick and roll guy, distributor. Okay. I think he's a better passer, but I think for like a one game in this situation, I think I would go Reggie too.
That's fair. That's very
Reggie loved the spotlight.
Yeah, I'd say. See, my opinion is that I would go D'Lo like 2 years ago, maybe, or like when he was on Brooklyn, and then I would go Reggie like since Goggles. Reggie has been like killing it, and there's something to do maybe you couldn't see before, and it's like vision's just like that much better to where it just brings them like crazy confidence to where he can like skip down the court.
Yeah,
and just make bucket. Dude.
Yeah. I guess
he's been good. He's been good. He's been scary. So I would lean towards Reggie for sure.
Listen, I guess right now, I guess Pat Bev is technically our point guard, and D'Lo's been the 2, and then Ant's been the 3, really starting. But I don't know. Really? I don't really care about like starting lineups though. Like if you're starting or not, it doesn't really matter. It's all about who closes the game. But fair. So I guess Pat Bev technically is our 1. And then D'Lo's
he's closing that game. He's closing the game. That makes sense.
And then Ant's usually 3, and then whoever's 4 or 5. But
I think I agree. Our closing has been weird, so I want to see what Ty Lue goes with everybody. Does he keep Norman on the floor with PG, with Rocco, with Zubac and Reggie? You know what I'm saying? But
who's closing the game for the Clippers? What's the closing roster for the Clippers typically?
Bruh, dog, I don't. We were like the Lakers on some lineup closing line. It's like 36 different closings. You know what I'm saying?
Is Luke Kennard in?
Huh?
Is Luke Kennard in, or is he riding the bench?
See, Luke Kennard, Nicholas Batum. It depends on matchups and if they're on fire. Like if Nicholas is hitting, like he'll close the game because he's a solid defender. Luke doesn't really close games, especially if he's not shooting, because just defensively. And I think a game like with the Timberwolves, I can't see him closing the game because he'll end up guarding Anthony Edwards, and that's not a good matchup for him.
That's not good.
So the 5 best defenders on our team is Reggie, Rocco, Norman Powell, Paul George, and Zubac. That's what it is.
Yeah, I swear Luke Kennard can sometimes like be on fire, and he's everyone knows he can shoot the ball, right? But then there's other times to where that man just like sits there and doesn't move for like a whole half. Like it's insane. Like he will just stand there. And if he's off, then he's just not doing shit the whole game.
Best shooter in the league percentage wise. So
yeah,
I mean, that's the thing.
When he does move,
when he shoots and things like that. So that the thing about our matchup, like I know Karl Anthony Towns got it. Like that's not even. I want Zubac to try his hardest. That's the only thing everybody knows Zubac is gonna try his hardest no matter what. He gonna try hard.
Yeah,
but Karl Towns is a specimen. He's really good at what he does. You know what I'm saying? He may not be liked off the court. He may not be. People might think he would dweeb or something like that, but it's what it is.
It's a big ass dweeb.
But you know what I'm saying? Good job getting Jordan Woods. But other than that, Karl got it. I never can remember who the Timberwolves center is. like other than Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah,
Who's
Nas
right?
Nas is off the bench.
Yeah,
Nas Reed, and then
he's not bad.
He's a solid backup. He's got. I mean, he shoots. He's a good shooter for a backup guy. And they brought back Greg Monroe too, who played. You know, he's been okay. He's just another big body, but
he's in the G League.
I forgot that he was. I thought he was much older.
Yeah, he's bounced around a lot this year, like just signing 10-day contracts. So this is the second time he's been with us. So, but he's fine. He's just another big body if we need a big guy out there. But I don't.
Yeah, and then you're bringing back Kawhi. They're bringing back Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
you know,
like KG now or KG like back when he was in his prime. That's the question.
Yeah. Either way, he's still gonna come up with a hoodie on the halfway of his head.
Hartenstein, yeah.
That's my sleeper. In every series, Hartenstein is my sleeper guy.
The guy that sets good screens.
Yeah, screens. Look here, man. Watch that floater. That mid-range float. Look here. This one thing. They ain't hurt nobody. Look here, Josh. If Hartenstein got 10 points on you, you're gonna be hurt. You're gonna be like, how?
Yeah.
How is he scoring?
He'll get some putbacks every once in a while.
Every time he scores, it hurts morale because people just think about him like you do. You think he's trash. You think he's just a screen setter. So whenever the ball goes in by people like that, it makes you upset. You know what I'm saying?
You're not wrong.
So
you're almost just like reconfirming what I'm saying is that he's not good.
I think he's good. Wow. I think Foshe said he is a serviceable backup center.
Just a big body off the bench.
Yeah,
him and Nas Reed. Watch those two guys go back and forth. That'll be really something if that happens. That'll be interesting.
We getting in the weeds over here. We're going Nas Reed and
so you say Hartenstein is like your X Factor guy?
Yes, my X Factor. I mean, I think it's a very reach X Factor. I know you would think I would say like Luke Kennard or Rocco or Norman Powell, obviously, but I just know those guys are gonna come off the bench and do their thing. You know,
I think your X Factor is gonna be Marcus Morris. You know, because that man can shoot and he's lights out sometimes, and he'll just like he does it every game. He probably does it like 3 or 4 times at least. Is that he'll shoot a long 2 and he'll like do his little jab or like he'll hold the ball for like 5 seconds and act like he's gonna drive, but he never drives. He's just gonna shoot the ball. Yeah, you know. So it's just still. Yeah, but it's like always this long ass 2. It's like a low percentage shot, but he'll hit it. And if he's feeling it, then he's a solid 20 points.
Yeah. So I do agree with that. Like if Marcus is on, it's almost like a higher percentage in my mind we're gonna win. So who's that for y'all? Folk, who's your guy? You're like, okay, if he's on.
Yeah, I think it has to be Malik. If he comes in and just hits like 6 threes, like he doesn't do anything else but shoot threes. Lately he's been driving more. But whatever the game was in February when he broke the record of most, like he literally just shot threes. He made like 12 threes, and it was like that was all that he took. He didn't shoot a single free throw, a single field goal. Wow. So I think if he comes in and goes like 6 of 12 or whatever, 6 of 10 or something, like if he hits 5 or 6 threes, then I like that. But you can tell right away if he comes in, he will shoot it immediately when he catches it, and if he knocks that first one down, it'll be good. Obviously there's some other guys on the bench, like McDaniels is a long and lanky guy that I think is good at defense, but I think Malik is the big X factor for us tomorrow.
That's interesting.
Outside of the big guys
in Minnesota, right? The game,
in Minnesota, which I think it's gonna be fun. This is the first, the Butler team obviously made the playoffs, but that team hated each other. Everybody knew that they hated each other. It was not fun. This team, everybody loves each other. They have a coach that's a lot of fun. He kind of lets the players do what they want up to a certain point. And again, that game yesterday, when they played the Bulls and there was no starters playing, it was and we were down by 30, came back, ended up losing by 5, but the whole arena was like just rowdy and it was fun. So I think it'll be wild in there. So it'll be cool to see actual playoff game in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's definitely a great place to play. I mean, I remember the times when KG in the playoffs they were playing. Those were really good playoff games. Obviously, it wasn't like against the Clippers, against the Lakers that were very more like incredible games. So the atmosphere there is going to be hype. And the thing is, the Clippers enjoy playing on the road because it's just better. Like I'm not gonna lie, our home games are trash. You know what I mean? It's just we don't get as rowdy until we're like almost losing or like
because you got a half. stadium full of Laker fans.
Yeah, Laker fans that don't go to can't afford going to Laker games, so they'll buy playoff tickets to Clipper game and bring the Laker jerseys. And I'm like, bro, why are you here? Like,
yeah, that's ignorant, dude.
I can't wait to get out of there, bro. I cannot wait to get out. Like, as a kid, I was cool.
They're gonna be in Inglewood too.
Who?
Lakers fans that go to Clippers games, they're still gonna like show up.
I mean, Inglewood. But I think with the new stadium and it kind of starts to separate itself. So now you have to separate yourself as a fan. Like you got to pick. You can't be telling me, hey, I'm about to go to the Clipper game. Huh? Laker fans can't just show up. If you're a Laker fan going to a Timber game,
that's
for what?
Funny. Yeah. I mean, they already do it at Crypto or at Staples.
Yeah, but
so I figured that they're even gonna continue to do it in Inglewood, but we'll find out.
Yes, the Wolves were 26-15 at home, and the Clippers were 25-16 at home, 17-24 on the road. But Wolves were 20-21 on the road. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be cool that when they have their own arena, and it kind of, like you said, it just like segregates and breaks up who's going to what games, because it's not like, I'm going to drive however far. Never been to California, so I don't know where it all is. But it's like, they're not just going to be like, oh yeah, I'll just go to a game just because I'm a Lakers fan, but tickets are cheap and I'm going to drive and pay for however long. So I think it'll be cool. When's it supposed to be done, the new arena?
About 2 years.
2024.
Oh,
yeah.
2 years. So next year, you're still in crypto?
Yeah, next year we're still in crypto. I would love to get a chip in crypto and then leave and then get another chip in my dome, and the Clippers don't, and the Lakers don't get a chip for the next 25 years. They'll make us so happy.
Damn.
I believe it. I am gung ho about the Lakers with no chip in crypto.com center.
Yeah. So wait, which team do you want to play in the playoffs, in the real thing, not just this little fucking frou-frou playing shit, but like in the actual playoffs? Who do you want to play, either the Grizzlies or the Suns?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's obviously the Grizzlies. Like, I think we match up with the Grizzlies really well, and I think if we do win tomorrow and play the Grizzlies, I think that could easily be a 6 or 7 game series. And I think we've played them really well this year. Our games against the Suns were close, but then you guys just have the closing factor in the end. And I think a 4-game, I think this year it's super important for us to make the playoffs, 1, and then 2, not just get absolutely blown out, because people will look back and be like, oh, that season was such a disappointment, even though we won 11 more games than we were projected to win. And I think it'll be a bummer just to go out 4-0. So I think we have a young team. We're kind of in, not to say we're like the Grizzlies are last year, because it's such a cliche thing to say, but I think we have the opportunity to, if we make it, get these guys some playoff experience and actually make some noise next year. If guys can grow, guys can keep getting better, get the experience. But if we play the Suns, it's going to be a 4-game and just not any experience gained, I don't think.
For sure. No,
I do think, though, for y'all, more say, like, if you do play the Suns and you do get swept, it kind of rips off the Band-Aid of, like, not blowing up the team, but blowing up everybody you necessarily don't need anymore. And this kind of will prove, like, if I'm not gonna say when y'all play the Suns, it just makes it easier. Like, all right, we don't need Malik Beasley no more. We don't need all these. But look, we got Carlton Town, Anthony Edwards. All right, let's start from there. You know what I'm saying? And that's a really good 2-piece. Like, a lot of teams ain't got that. You know what I mean? So for us, it ain't gonna change nothing. We lose to y'all, play the Suns and lose. We got Kawhi not coming back, or full team be healthy. Everybody will be back next year. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them years, like, for me, I'm like, all right, we made a play in. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah. No. I think honestly,
there's more pressure on the Timberwolves, I would say, than us. Because no one expected us to even be, after Paul went out, to be even in the play-in. I mean, no one expected the Timberwolves to make the playoffs or play-in, but they still thought they were a serviceable team. Using that word, that's 3 times.
Do you think if you guys lose in the first round,
don't say it. Cat wants a trade. Don't bring it up again.
Do you think Cat will demand a trade?
Here we go.
I'm just asking. Do you think he would stick and ride it out with Minnesota?
Yeah, I think he's come out and he loves him and Finch. Really, like, there's like legitimately like love there. And And even before, like I think he hated Tibbs. He really liked Ryan Saunders, but he was a terrible coach. And I think now he looks at Finch as a really great coach, knows what he's doing, and just as a guy that's like has his back. And he's really a player's coach. I mean, when they almost lost that Spurs game because they were trying to get Ant 50, and he was like, you could tell that he was upset about it, but he wasn't like pissed and like Tibbs was like throwing a clipboard and benching guys and stuff. But no, he's absolutely not going to request a trade anytime soon.
Right.
And if he makes All NBA, he gets the Supermax extension.
So here's my other question.
And he's dating Jordan Woods. So that means his life off the court is really good too. So he doesn't have to work. Usually that's another factor. Like, I want to leave Minnesota because I want to be in the limelight a little bit more. Nah, because he dates who he dates. He's in the limelight. He's in the limelight more than enough now. So he don't need you get both worlds. Sometimes it helps you stay in a smaller city when you're off the court stuff puts you in the limelight. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying that helps. And but he was not like he was gonna move from like wicked Minnesota to Phoenix. What's the difference?
It doesn't have to be Phoenix. I'm just curious and just in general.
What does it have to be? It has to be Phoenix. You only bring Carl up on trades when it's Phoenix. Don't act like you bring him up for other teams. You don't like Carl like that.
I'm just seeing, if you would be disgruntled. I think it's a fair question. Okay,
no, it's not.
Next question. So, if you guys play the Memphis Grizzlies, do you think you have a chance to beat them in a series?
Well, I would say that obviously the Grizzlies would be favored, but I would say it's 70-30, 65-35 that we have a chance to beat them. I think we match up really well. And I'm interested to see in the playoffs, everybody knows that everything slows down. And the Grizzlies love running, love gunning. Their half court offense is not great. And I just think that, with Cat destroys Steven Adams because he's too slow, destroys Triple J is also too skinny in the post. Like, he's a great defensive player, but doesn't match up well. And I think we've played them 4 times and we won either 3 or I think we lost in overtime in one game. I'd have to double check, but I know the last game we played them, we beat them by like 40. But that's not to say the Grizzlies are great. I mean, like, right. I'm not going to say that they're not, but I would say that we would stand a decent chance, I would say, to at least go.
I agree with that. I'd say 60-40, honestly. I'm going with 60-40.
Yeah, and that's the motivation for both teams. Like, we're sitting there probably in the locker room like, hey, man, hey, man, this is a really important game. We can play Memphis where we know we have a very good chance of putting it together and beating them. They're a younger squad, like you said, half-court game ain't right. The coach is good. Do I think Ty Lue is better do I think Finch is as good as Memphis coach? For sure. Like, because you have definitely certain players in certain spots that just overarch Memphis. I think Ty Lue is above and beyond better than Memphis coaches, and I know you would be upset if he gets coach of the year because I'm hearing murmurs. I've heard murmurs from a lot of people that voted. They voted for him.
Yeah, Taylor Jenkins.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just giving you a heads up. So be ready to be upset. I've heard Chris. A lot of people have said they voted for. I know that Chris did.
But it's so dumb. People forget. So okay, just let me rant for a second. So this whole Finch argument that people are giving him the vote for is the fact that like they won without Ja, right? I feel like that's like the notorious kind of narrative that people are referring to whenever they're like Finch gets a vote. Yeah. So people forget that Chris Paul was out, for a good amount of time too. And everyone's like, oh, we had Phoenix at the top of the division. Dude, not everyone had Phoenix on top of the division. We were still getting shit on. People were saying that we had like an easy path to the finals last year. And we were not the clear-cut favorite for the West to come out the West. Everyone had the Warriors coming out the West. Everyone had the Warriors coming out the West. That people had the Lakers coming out the West.
I mean, those people were crazy. Like, I don't know. Okay. Like,
so these are the same people that we
don't know if anybody who didn't have the wait. I want to know
the problem. The people
I can't see anybody that had the Suns lower than 2 coming into the season. Like,
huh?
I don't know. A lot of people really had Suns. Were you looking for this? Because I didn't see people having the Suns lower than 2 coming into the season.
Lower than 2?
If they weren't Laker fans, if they were just fans of Lakers, then they had the Lakers high.
Dude,
but if they're basketball fans, it was the Warriors or Suns.
Remember when I told you that the Suns would get 60 wins and you laughed at me? How many wins did we end up getting?
60, what, 6?
4.
60. Oh my gosh, 4 more wins. I'm sorry,
but I think it's just hard to win 60 games though. Like if you were to tell me anybody is going to win 60, I would take that bet every time because I think it's just really hard to win 60. And like I said,
well, I mean, I just feel like everyone tends to, exaggerate in the beginning of the year, and like everyone was, jumping on the Lakers saying that they were who's going to beat this team. Everyone had the Warriors. Clay's going to come back. He's going to be fully healthy, even though he's coming back from a 2-year little stint of, being off the court. And then the Suns didn't have a clear-cut, leader. Devin Booker's been getting disrespected forever. So anyways, my point is that Monty Williams, I swear to God, if he doesn't get coach of the year, I'm going to shit, bro. Tibbs got it last year.
Be ready to lose it.
Shit I've ever seen. Why did Tibbs get it? I still to this day don't understand the reason behind Tibbs getting that. Yeah. And then now, if he gets,
a solo pod is coming.
I'm gonna be fucking furious.
Yeah, Josh is gonna do a solo pod when
I might just give Josh the run one.
Just give him the login. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm out for this one. Josh is going to talk about.
Dude, it's outrageous, man.
I'm gonna call it spilled milk. The episode. It's spilled milk, my guy. You can't do nothing about it. It's over. It's dumb.
Because this whole voting system is so dumb. I want to see
if it doesn't work.
Can we get a list of who votes in the sense of like I just want to understand who's still getting votes. Is it all correspondence? Is it coaches? Like do you know?
It's all like, I know some people put it on Twitter when they do vote. Like I know.
Yeah, it's media.
Yeah, it's like media and like reporters and guys that cover the league, like Bill Simmons and Kevin O'Connor and Russillo and like Broussard and. I'm sure like Tim McMahon and all those guys, like they all get.
Does Skip Bayless get a fucking vote?
No, he does not.
No,
Nick Wright doesn't have one either.
Thank God.
I don't know.
That's Nick Wright. I like Nick Wright, but
I don't know.
Terrible.
Skip was a writer, so he might.
I'm not sure on Skip.
Yeah, he might. And same thing with Kyra. They used to be like, if you were a writer, like you had to be like a writer first. You couldn't just be right on air. Like right on air guys don't. But if you wrote a little bit, like somewhere, a newspaper, something like maybe. Because the premise of the media getting the vote was because the NBA was not popular and they wanted to become popular. So they gave media the chance to vote for these awards. So then you had to write about the NBA. So that was why it started. Do I think it should have changed from that? Do I think obviously we can have that deep conversation? Like we think I personally believe coaches should should have that vote for MVP and things like that. Even coach of the year, I think they're a little bit more like-minded to coach.
I don't know about that.
They can't vote for themselves. It's not you can't say, "Oh, I vote for me." Like
3 times.
There's some feuds
yeah.
Coaches, there's some beef between coaches though. I feel. I don't know about that. Definitely a third party should always vote, but. I hear what you're saying. I agree with where you're going with it. So in the end,
always gotta get Suns talking a podcast, right?
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so Charles, now tell me, who do you fear? Who do you want to match up with?
Who do I want to match up with? I mean Memphis at the end of the day.
Okay, so and then
scared of y'all though. You ain't scared of y'all though. We ain't scared of y'all though.
You're clearly scared with your statement, or you would have said the Suns. But anyways,
why would I say the Suns though? Y'all the better team out of the two. Obviously, you don't go. I don't want the better team, but I'm not terrified of you. You know what I'm saying?
You sound realistically cautious, but it's okay. With the Grizzlies, do you feel like you can beat them in a 7-game series, or like a series in general?
I do.
You do. Yes. Does it go to 7? Does it go to 6? Is it a sweep?
It's not a sweep. I'm a realist. I mean, we go to 6 at least. We, you know what I'm saying? I think we get one out there early. If not the first one, it's the second one. Because it's just, I think the playing teams have that advantage of playing in a game, especially like a game. If it's not a blowout, like if it's a really tight one, usually they got the advantage that game 1.
Yeah, because game 1's not till Saturday. So those teams have been sitting for a week, and then if they didn't even play like their starters, they've been sitting for a week and a half possibly. Yeah, it's very interesting how. I mean, I get they want to give guys rest and all that stuff, but I mean, it's crazy how many games they give in between for playoff games. It's just because this thing goes till June. I mean, it's like, come on, like, can we not give 4 days off in between every game?
You make them play like 82 games, like all back to backs and shit.
Yeah, and then
you find them if they sit. But then like with the playoffs,
They want the best product on the floor, guys. The best product on the floor. It's all about them dollar, about that moolah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So my final thoughts is.
Yeah, we're gonna give a score prediction here. What?
Oh, okay.
I feel like
I'm gonna go with 80.
We haven't made any bets yet.
No. That's too low. That's too low. I'm gonna go 105 to 97.
Clippers. So you think it's gonna be just a trash ass offensive game? Like no.
That's 105 in the NBA now is not a trash offense game, my guy. No one's scoring 80 points a game. God,
I had someone go off. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game because
I don't know if you're gonna. I think a trash offense game is like 125 to 130. Like that's a trash defense game.
Yeah,
I think the NBA now 105 to 95 is a really solid defense.
I don't know. I feel like you guys are gonna be hot, and it's gonna be a high scoring game for sure.
You ain't playing. Listen, folks, you ain't playing. Standing.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I think in order for the Wolves to win, it has to be high scoring with an offense has to be clicking. I'm going to say Wolves win 124-118.
See, I like that. I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to come down to. I think it'll be really close all the way to the end, and then it's just going to be, we knock down free throws to get the 6-point win. But like I said, I could definitely. I think this game is legitimately like
Nostradamus over here.
Yeah, I mean, if they get past 115, I don't think we win in that game, man.
Yeah. I think we have to score.
We can't
get high.
We not like that. We don't. We not like that. We can't be scoring.
We make up some prop bets or something. Like who's going to be the leading rebounder? And then
I'm going to get my bets in
who's
on.
Who's going to be the high scorer? How about that? Who's going to be the high scorer? I feel like you guys can do that.
It's Paul George.
Paul George. What is he gonna have?
34.
34.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the easy answer is Cat, but so I mean I think that Ant's gonna have a good game too, but I think it'll be interesting to see how they guard and how they go. I think both those guys will score over 25. Cat and Ant over 25.
Yeah, I think Cat blows up, bro. I think Cat's gonna score over 30, and I think Paul George is going to score over 30. I think it's just going to be
back and forth.
A lot of offense and not a lot of defense, to be honest. I know you guys are both like not bums when it comes to defense, but I just feel like there's going to be a lot of excitement in Minnesota. Y'all going to be hyped, and that LA plays away games pretty well, They have that. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Everyone's going to be hitting. But It's gonna be exciting nonetheless. I'm pumped for this game. The other games are gonna be like whatever. Yeah. Honestly, who's it? The Hawks and
Hawks and Hornets will be a good one. That's Wednesday.
Oh, that's
Wednesday, that's Wednesday, and then the other game tomorrow is Cavs and Nets.
Yeah. Any other bold predictions for the closer?
We're out of time,
bro. What was that?
Sorry.
That was scary.
I gotta go back inside. I'm sorry. Aaliyah coming out here looking at me, like just staring, like, are you ready to go? Like, I'm like, oh, snap.
Got things to do, yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, guys. But that's it for me.
All right. Wait, this is good. I appreciate you guys having me on, and we definitely need to do it. No matter what happens, win, loss, we'll do it again, I'm sure. And I'm gonna have you guys on mine too. I got an NBA grab bag of questions that I want to have you guys on for. So we're gonna get that set up. We'll probably do it in the off season just to keep the NBA talk going. But we'll probably do that in the off season. But like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on. It's always a good conversation with all of you guys.
Yeah, we need your expert opinion on the Timberwolves, depending on who makes it. And who we can have you on for one of these other series.
Yeah,
the NBA playoffs, like you said, it's gonna start in June.
I think
we got plenty of time.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I don't think we both lose 2 in a row. So we definitely have you back on in the playoffs. Because if you're playing the Suns, we definitely gonna have you back on. Because then if you're not playing the Suns, then I have to deal with the consequences of arguing him.
Yeah, y'all talking shit now, but it's all good.
All right, y'all. Thank you for listening, watching, all that jazz.
Peace.
Charles, Josh, Foshe. Peace.
Later.